Good day everyone, my name is Chrisana Joy Alsempre and I am the first reporter of Group 14 and we will discuss about genetically modified organism in science, health, and politics. First things first, what is GMO? GMO stands for Genetically Modified Organism. So according to National Geographic in 2019, it's any living thing, whether it's an animal, crops, or a tiny microbe whose DNA has been intentionally changed using genetic engineering techniques. So, let's imagine na DNA is like a recipe book na tulong kung paano mabuhay ang isang organism. So, when we say DNA has been intentionally changed using genetic engineering, it means yung scientists don't just wait for nature to create traits they want. Instead, yung mga scientists, they go straight to that recipe book and make changes. So, they might add a gene from one organism to another and i-remove yung gene na naging sanhi or problema sa isang organism. So, okay, let's say a certain corn get destroyed by a common insect. So, ang gagawin ng scientists, they might take a gene from a bacteria that naturally kills that insect. And then, they will insert it into the corn's DNA. Now, the corn can protect itself from the bugs without needing as much pesticides. One famous example of a gene taken from a bacteria is called Bacillus thuringiensis. This gene enables the plants to produce a natural protein called Bt toxin in its tissue. Now, when the pests like worms eat the plants, they will ingest this toxin which damages their digestive system and kills them. When we talk about GMO crops, they typically have 3 or common characteristic as reported by FDA in 2020. So number 1 is resistance to insect damage. Number 2, protection against plant viruses. Number 3, tolerance to herbicides, which are chemicals to kill weeds. So the goal here is to make farming more easier and efficient. And it enables the farmers to reduce their expenses in raising them. And they have no longer to buy pesticide as long as they grow pest-resistant crop. In the United States, among the GMO crops grown and sold are alfalfa, apples, canola, corn, cotton, papaya, potatoes, soybeans, summer squash, and sugar beets. Selective breeding and crossbreeding method have been used over generations to create organisms with desired traits. So, breeding is a simple process of selecting parents to produce offspring. So, for instance, pinaparis mo yung rice na resistant sa sakit with high-yielding varieties so that yung maging bunga will have both good traits. So, crossbreeding naman is paghalo ng dalawang magkaibang varieties. So, for example, pinaparis mo yung Senorita Mango, which is known na matamis na mangga, with Carabao Mango na malalaki yung bunga. So, yung magiging ending o yung magiging resulta is sweeter and bigger na mangga. But not all experiments were successful. Some experiments lead to mixed results, meaning there are microorganisms with desired and unwanted traits. But nowadays, high-tech na ang mga biotechnology, kaya ng mga scientists controlling or i-manipulate ang unwanted traits, turning it into desired outcomes.
Good day everyone, I'm Liam Pilito from Group 14 and my topic is about GMOs and health. Genetically modified organisms or GMOs are considered safe to eat according to the FDA and they do not harm human health compared to non-GMO foods. Genetically modified plants are created to improve nutrition such as soybeans with healthier oils that can replace trans fat. Studies also show that animals fed with GMO food are just as healthy as those fed with non-GMO food. The DNA from GMO crops does not transfer to animals, and animals do not become GMOs after eating them. Products like meat, eggs, and dairy from these animals are also safe and have similar quality and nutrition as non-GMO products. In the future, GMOs may help in medicine by producing important compounds that can treat serious diseases. If proven fully safe, more people may accept and use GMOs. In conclusion, GMOs can be considered safe for consumption and may offer important benefits in nutrition and medicine, making them a valuable tool for improving human health and food security when properly regulated.
Good day, everyone. My name is Rochelle Raquel, and now we will be discussing about how GMO affect pesticide use. Scientists discovered that instead na gumamit ng chemicals para itabo yung insects sa plants, they changed the plant itself. Tulad nga sa sinabi ni Ms. Cassandra na scientists insert a specific gene into the plant so that it can produce its own protective protein inside its cells. This gene often comes from a naturally occurring bacterium called Bacillus thuringiensis, which naturally produce a protein that can kill a certain harmful insects but is safe for humans and most animals. These self-made pesticides are called plant-incorporated protectants. Because of this change, the plant becomes stronger and can defend itself without needing too much chemical sprays. However, it also carefully regulated because scientists and environmental agencies want to make sure it remains safe for humans and does not negatively affect the environment or lead to insect resistance over time. Now, pag-usapan naman po natin about the GMO animals in the market. Genetically modified or GMO animals in the market are animals that have been changed by scientists by altering their genes. Most GMO animals are first created for scientific research and not for food. In laboratories, these animals are used as models to help scientists study how genes work and how certain diseases develop in the human body. By changing or adding specific genes, scientists can observe what happens in the animal's body and use this information to understand human health problems and find possible treatments or medicines. However, some GMO animals are also developed for food production. One example is the Aqua Advantage salmon. This salmon has been genetically modified so that it grows faster than normal salmon. Scientists added genes that helps it reach full size in a shorter time, which means farmer can produce more fish in less time. According to food safety agencies like the US Food and Drug Administration, if this type of salmon is safe to eat and has the same nutrition as regular salmon. Even though GMO animals can help increase food supply and support research, they are still carefully tested and regulated to make sure they are safe for humans, animals, and the environment before they are allowed in the market.
Good day everyone, my name is Maria Angela Marañez and I am the last reporter. So my topic is about the non-food GMOs and the impact of GMOs in our environment. So the non-food GMOs ay yung GMOs na hindi lamang ginagamit sa pagkain kundi mayroon ding mahalagang aplikasyon in our medicine, industry, and sa iba pang field. And makikita nyo naman po sa PPT yung example. The number one example is the BT cotton for clothing, and the number two is the blue rose, genetically modified for colors. The number three is the GM mosquito, control disease like dengue. The number four is glowfish or glowing fish, bright colors for pet and science. And the number 5 is GM trees, used for paper and woods. And the last one is the human insulin, used to treat diabetes. So we come now for the last topic, which is the impact of GMO in our environment. Number 1 is herbicide use. So what is herbicides? Yung herbicide po is chemical na ginagamit sa pag-control, pagmanipula, at pagpatay po ng mga unwanted plant or damo. So dahil po marami ng crops like mais and soy ang ginagawang herbicide tolerant, ibig sabihin, kaya nilang mabuhay kahit bombahin ng matatapang na chemical na pumapatay ng damo. Dahil dito, mas dumami ang pag-spray ng herbicide sa bukirin na nagre-resulta ng mas mataas na exposure sa nakakalasong chemical na nakakalason sa lupa at tubig natin. This is the health concern. So, ang glyphosate po ay isang malawakang ginagamit sa sistematikong herbicide o pamatay damo sa agrikultura. Ito ay hindi pumipili, ibig sabihin pinapatay nito ang mga halos lahat ng uri ng halaman at damo na maisprehan. And according to the World Health Organization noong 2015, ito ay nakakaapekto sa ating kalusugan na posibleng magdulot ng cancer sa tao. Number 3 is the resistant pest. Parang video games, ang mga peste nagli-level up din. Sa sobrang dalas ng pag-spray ng lason, ang mga damo at insekto ay nagiging immune at yun ang tinatawag nating super weeds and super bugs na hindi na tinatabla ng kahit anong uri o ordinaryong lason. So, sa ngayon, patuloy pa rin pinag-aaralan ng ating mga scientists ang pangkahalatang epekto ng GMO sa ating environment. Kaya, hindi pa ito gaanong naunawaan.